Hi.
Hey, buddy.
Good morning.
Hi, mate.
How are you all doing?
Hey, good.
That's good.
Doing well.
Good.
Hi, G.
Hey, mate. How are you, Rob?
You good, thanks.
Thanks for all the input, Glenn. Quite helpful over the night.
It's helpful.
It was good. Some good screenshots, some good just sound advice as well, which is always good. Alrighty, German 40. Let's have a look. Forex factory. So what do we have? We got
So will impact the Euro this trading session, I think.
yeah, I thought. Oh, here we go. That's why. I was gonna say I thought we had news. There we go. We've got Canada, Canada news. What? Where's my sound? Am I sounding alright? It sounds funny in my ears.
No, that sounds good.
All right.
Are you good at mine?
Speakers. Okay, I'm not gonna argue with it. Cool. All right. So we've got Canada interest rates today. So and US PMI. That's what I thought we had some US news. It was hidden there. 3 o'clock. So that'd be interesting. Cool. All right. We've got a pound monetary policy report hearings just 15 minutes before NYSE. A few hours in length. Holy. Okay. Anyway. So let's dive into the market, see what we've got today. Leaning to buys, but I'll show you. Kind of having a little peek at this this old VIX volatility index. So we're very low, right? We're very like prices over time sort of spiked up. So a lot of the time when you've got like fear, uncertainty. Hi Ivan, how are you? Morning Maron. Hey Sarah. So when you see a lot of these spikes up here, COVID, and then these are like times of fear, uncertainty, doubt, that kind of stuff. When you see those, when you see spikes up, that's generally good for your safe haven assets, and generally when it's going down, that's generally good for your growth assets. So take it as you like. Take it like not. Don't look too much into it, but we are bouncing a little bit off of all of this area. And we do, if this was just a price action sort of chart, we'd be looking to see maybe because we are going downtown, maybe we're just going to pull back a little bit. So we've had a little high created, we're gapped higher, wicked up, wicked down, and now we're pushing up. So maybe we push down, then push up again. So it would just be the inverse. So we might push down. Sorry, inverse. We might push down. And down on here would be potentially. Oh, we might push up first and then go down. We'll see. But at the moment, it's kind of just we gapped up. That's the main thing from this. Looking over at German, what we see is we've broken out of this rangy area yesterday, and they had nice strong daily candle close, but that daily candle we saw it had a bit of a recovery yesterday, so we just dived into this zone, and then we had a strong reaction from London, and then we just crept our way, and we're just basically filling these clean candles again. So what I'm wondering is if we push up again. So let's start from The day. We went to the daily. Weekly. Weekly, we've created the top wick. There we are. It's better. Weekly, we created that top wick, and we're pushing down. This is. I'm not sure why this is sounding different today, but anyway. Morning, George. Yo, Eddie. All right. And this weekly candle still hasn't taken out a high or a low. But we've created we've tapped into two zones from the previous week and had little reactions at these points. Okay, so not really telling us a whole lot. Monthly, 6 days into it, we are pushing down. We wicked up and we're starting to push down a little bit. So still a long way for this monthly candle left. It's just, where are we gonna go? H4. This is where it starts to get a little bit more detail here. So I've left this area here because this one here was an Asian candle and it opened a no top wick and then pushed up. Tapped into that area of liquidity from the previous week. This was on Monday. This was Monday, wasn't it? Yeah, Monday. And then when we got back down to that level again, where we basically closed, where there was no wick here, we just opened with no top wick and then just pushed straight down. So I've left that. I don't really often see when you got two no wick candles in the exact same spot, basically. So I left that little line there just out of a bit of interest. Then we identified that this was going to be the reaction zone because this was a 3-hour liquidity candle wick. And then price pushed up into that area. Couldn't quite get those sells, unfortunately. Tried a couple of times, and then the move happened at like 10:30, 11 o'clock or so. And then it just dropped and dropped and dropped. So never came back. I was really hoping it was going to do that. It was doing this kind of stuff, and I was just hoping New York would do that little sweep and then drop. But the drop happened a little bit early, so anyway. Then as we made our move down, we came into this 4-hour, and also it's a 2-hour liquidity wick. So we had that zone marked off for a long time. Price came down perfectly yesterday, tapped into it, managed to take some sells on the way down to this area, going with the momentum with Aussie interest rate news and Chinese PMI news, was able to capitalize on that, and others was able to capitalize on the buys, the reaction, the release from sellers in this reaction zone. So very good. Then price pushed back up. These are monthly levels as well, by the way. So they're holding up quite nicely. Now we're making our descent, and we're just making lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, and we made a doji here. So this doji is where I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe now we could potentially come up and find the top of that doji as well at some stage. So what I'm thinking of is, if we go to 3-hour now. 3-hour, we can see the sessions. Okay, so the pink is the London only part. The green is where New York begins. We've got Asia here in the blue. We can't see the 2-hour little just pre-London, Europe only sort of area. For now, Asian has made like a little bit of a bearish engulfing candle. So it's pushing down. And we know London doesn't particularly like to sell the lows of things or the highs of or buy the highs of things. Neither does New York for that matter. As Glenn put it, unless there's a very nice fundamental reason, like yesterday. To have that quick sell-off. Oh wait, I'm lying here on the stream. I didn't take a trade yet. That was yesterday's trade. Remove that. Okay. So let's go to the 2-hour. On the 2-hour, what we've had is New York was just drifting down. We're starting to get a few resistances created in the Asian session. what I have done is I should start using, when I've identified reaction resistances created, I should probably use a red border and then keep the green borders for when it was a support. Doesn't mean support can't turn to resistance or resistance can't turn support, but just to help me identify where the origin was. So for now, I've got a resistance created on the lower time frame here. I've got this color, which is a little bit fainter red than this one here. I've done this one because it's a Asian session. It's something I've identified, but it happened in the Asian session, so it probably holds a little bit less weight. Doesn't mean it's not valid, just holds a little bit less liquidity in that time period. So I think that's going to be the new order of things I do, just to refine things a little bit more, because I'm usually just happy to keep one color everywhere, but then what I'll do is, like, I don't leave this one green because sometimes it clashes with the green, and then when I've done it in the red, I've made it green so it doesn't clash with the pink for London. So that's kind of what I've been using, the colors depending on where it was. So but now I'm just like, oh, you probably just make it as like a support or resistance. I think it might be a bit easier for people to follow along. Not that it doesn't bother me which color it is, still a color. Now I've made this potential waterline mark, horizontal trend line. Why did I do that one? That one is interesting. So if we go back, if we go to the 1 hour, maybe I can see on the 2 hour. You can sort of see it. It is holding up quite well, but it's more obvious on the 1 hour. The 1 hour, or was it the 30 minute? It wasn't 1 hour. So on the 1 hour, I was quite interested with New York yesterday, that it didn't really create this, didn't have much of a top wick here, really towards the end of the session. But when I looked across, I could see that we've been sitting at this line quite a bit. Now, if I go over to the left, you can see that this was a fairly decent line as well. It's this one here. So if we're pushing down, but I wonder if we can do a little bit of a jag up. And I thought, well, maybe that line makes a bit of sense. That 15,780 area, it lines up pretty well with this little zone in the New York session, and this is a resistance created in the 30-minute chart, and I'll go to that in a second for you. But also, before I do that, we've had this here, this part here is a 2 hour, was the 2 hour and 4 hour liquidity candle wick. Okay, just so you believe me, right here, this one here. That's the 2 hour liquidity wick. We've had a candle that's retested it once. So I want to go with this being the support being created, and that even if it does break, it's going to give me a very clear area to sell from. But I want to go with it for now, because I don't think we're going to be able to push down easily for London. Well, everything's a chance, but I don't think we can push down and then just cut straight through it without even at least a reaction. So that's why I'm flagging this zone. And I'm flagging buys, but I can also flag sells in this case. Now, back down to the 1 hour. 1 hour. No, it's going to be a lower time frame when I get to talk about this. So we've got another liquidity candle. This one here. This is the wick. So we're tapping into that area right now. So that could be interesting to see what happens when we close into it. Hey, Ivan. Now, if we go to the 30 minute, 30 minute is, I've got a bit more of a refined wick. It's not a bullish candle, but it wicked down, took this doji, and then closed back inside these wicks, and then we had a fairly nice release. So that's why I'm wondering if we can have a quick little push down. We'll create like a little resistance. Create a little resistance pre-London. So maybe if we're breaking these lows, we can push down to that zone and then we can push back up, take out this resistance, take out that Asian high, tap into this waterline mark, and then continue the drive down potentially. Now, if there's another little thing here. I'll go back to the daily. This is something that I forgot to mark out. On the daily point of view, this candle created a little bit of structure. So like we've got price pushed up, made a new high, price came down, consolidated, price pushed down, had a little rejection wick, not rejection wick, like a little doji, price pushed up, another liquidity candle, price pushed down, creating a bit of structure.
Yeah.
Now we close back inside of it. So generally that means we're going to the bottom again. This lines up, this top area lines up with that potential waterline mark as well. So this one right here. So that's what I'm wondering is maybe we push down, then push higher, make a new daily intraday higher high to create a better top wick, close this gap a little bit, and then we can see sellers come back in and we can start to push down, ultimately getting down to like the bottom area here. Hey Hitman. So that's, hey Peter, hey Alan,
Hi.
Nigel, how are you? So that's what I'm kind of thinking. Go with two biases here, but already pre-identified a few more levels that I'm interested in. Now, if we can break this candle low, we could probably push down. It's not very large range under here on this time frame, 20 pips. We are creating one liquidity candle, so I wonder if we can take an anticipation entry very early to push down. I might even go with that actually. The higher I can get into this. So this could be, yeah, I'm wondering if that's going to be left to later. That's where this faint red border is. This is definitely an area I'm targeting, but I'm wondering if we can, if this candle, I'm hoping that this is not a sell to buy. I'm hoping we're going to go boom and then another sell to then buy from a better area and then drop down. So I'm going to probably go with this idea. Yeah, I think I'm happy to risk a bit on that idea. So we'll see though. Let me just get the guns all loaded, put the bullets in the chamber. All right, locked and loaded here. Two minutes until open. See, Dave, you're here, mate, as well. You found your way.
Yes.
Navigating Discord well now.
Getting there, yeah, it's going well.
Okay. Who else is here? Garrard, my man. How are you? Long time.
What's up, guys? How are you guys?
Looking forward to another London session.
Yeah, man. How's it going, buddy?
Yeah, excellent, thanks. It's crazy getting everything ready. For
Yeah,
the
man.
little one.
You've got a few minutes, a couple of minutes left.
Mm-hmm.
Rocking.
Looks like it's already having that little rejection. So I was really hoping to try catch that top wick. 1 minute it might just open, just drive straight down. Drop, little doji, sweep the low. I wonder if we can take on D1. We make higher close, but I think we'll test the low of the day before going up. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm actually thinking to put in a little. I'm thinking something along the lines. Well, if we're coming up that high, we're probably going to take out the euro high. So I'd rather doing something. Yeah, I would have probably rather something like that to try to sweep this doji. It's pulling back a little bit too much now. The risk reward sucks from down here. So I was trying to capture this top wick to then push down. So anyway, here's the open.
It's dropping.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't want to enter pre-London, but I thought that was, I thought that would have been that's the idea of what to have happened. But I would have liked to have been on that wick. It was just the timing was 1 minute off, huh? And then it's drop into the zone. That sucks. Bullshit. Okay, anyway. So now I'm thinking long from this zone. But I will not take a cowboy entry. I'll wait for a planned entry. But that sell idea played out would have been pretty beautiful if it just managed to wick up first for London and then drive. That would have been delightful. Perfect 30-minute Asia box breakout. Yeah, that's right. This is your Asia box. And then we have a candle that closes outside. Retest, drop. So I think I'm going to look for an entry for a long now, because that was my little quick sell move idea. But I didn't want to get in underneath for 20 pips. I would have liked to have taken... This is a classic example of price setting up, but not really giving you a good entry, because risk reward in that sense was just didn't line up really well. But entering from the top of this wick down here, that would have given you 39 pips. That would have been a fantastic entry. So probably should have just backed myself with the volume direction to sell when I was pushing up here, rather than letting it wait for it to drop down like it did in the last minute or two before. Anyway, we're in the buy zone now, so let's switch over to all chart view. Oops, that's not all chart view. That's just small chart view. Now we're in all chart view. Okay, so 30, 15, top left, 5, and then 3 minutes bottom right. So can we take out now this resistance on the Asian session? So why is it resistance on the Asian session? Is because of these 30-minute candles. You've got a rejection wick that broke the high of the candle to the left, followed by a second one that was then followed by a down move. So drawing my zone from the high of candle number 1 to the open of candle number 2 gave me that light colored box. Then, because this is a New York session, this was a little bit my normal red color. Then we saw something similar on the Asian session, but on the this candle here. This candle here is higher than the candle to the left, only just, but it still is higher. So I've done the same thing for Asian session from the high to the open, but because it's an Asian session, I've just made this red, slightly lighter than the New York red. But this is still going to represent a zone that I think that we'll probably make our way back up to. On the 15-minute chart, now that I looked here, I drew on the 30-minute, but you can see on the 15-minute, it's got no top wick there as well. So that's definite. I say there's a very high chance that we're going to push back up and then take out that. Okay, so maybe I will keep a little peek at the 1-minute charts. Yeah, let's see. Got a little. Wonder if we can take an participation buy. We have got a little rejection doji. I wonder if we can take a buy if we're pushing back underneath this area. Could look scary as hell. Buying something that looks so bearish at that stage when it's pushing here. But I think it might be a sound trade. Enough to risk something on anyway. Oh, a little gap up. 5-minute just closed. So I wonder if this 5-minute can do a 5-minute, make like remember yesterday, does a little top wick and then pushes down into this wick. So right now it's creating that top wick. Let's see if it can push down now. We've got a no wick candle here in the 1 minutes. And I'll probably execute a buy around about here, anticipating that the 15-minute candle closes bullish. So it'll look something like this. Yeah, it looks something like that. Just need to let it sweep this low. At the moment we haven't broken above the resistance candle. Three minutes. 1 minute. Would be nice having taken that sell. That would have been nice. We haven't retested the euro low either, so I know Glenn's looking at that. Alright, so we've wicked up and we've pushed back down to that zone now. So now it can just rise from here. And hopefully it doesn't come back again. Oops. Anyway. To the moon. This is where we want it to go now. Another little gap up. Okay, last 1 minute of the second 5 minute. The third 5 minute hopefully is the one that breaks the high, and we leave a big rejection wick pushing up, flipping bullish, or at least retesting this euro low. Is anyone watching the pivot points? Is there anything around this area?
Yes, S1.
This one's around here?
Yeah, just below. Just below the daily low.
Okay, here's the last 5 minute of the first 15-minute candle. So because this one here closed bearish, this one will probably have a bit more pressure to the downside. Would have been nice if this one closed bullish, but we might still dip down, break this wick low, and then push up, hopefully. Or just push straight up. I would be pretty happy with that too. Be nice if it just gave a zero stress trade. Come on, you can do that, can't you? I'll give it a tickle. Come on. You can do it. Push. Push. Come on. Yes, that's right. Yeah. Come down here all this way here just to stop me out, did you? Come on. Sarah's in the cell. Oh.
My computer went down, so I didn't know what was going on. So I better quickly go to break even.
Well, we're destined to have a winner here then. This is the good thing. Okay, so it is pulling a little bit of liquidity from the upside. So I didn't want it to close bearish like that. But I am willing to let it do a little sweep. There's the sweep. Now the 15-minute can push up. If the 15-minute closes bearish like that, then I will probably exit this position and have to wait for another entry. Because I don't, oh, they'll gap down that time. Because I don't like the 15-minute candle closing like this, as in that, because I think it would probably dip lower then before it goes up. So I'll still give it a shot. When the last 2 minutes, last 2 minutes is the danger period. All right, so sitting 13 pips in profit. Didn't actually risk a whole lot, so I'm up 1 to 1. I mean, like, as in stop loss was 13 pips, so I'm gonna take 50 off. Take 50% off there, so that I don't need to move my stop loss and still be break even. So I've secured at least a break-even trade here. Oh, look at that last 1 minute, man. We needed continuation on this candle. Well, it had no wick on that 1 minute candle. Let's get out of the 1 minutes. 1 minute's going to have a signal every 2 minutes. Oh, yes, come on. Come on. Sarah's stop loss must be up here somewhere. Go for Sarah's stop loss. Alright, so I don't see any reason for this to be... If this is... Look, this candle here broke the low and then closed inside the wicks. And this candle here broke the low. They closed bullish. So... Oh, new 15-minute candle just opened.
Just go down, take my TP, and then you can go out.
Yeah, that's annoying. See what happens when you wait for a new 15-minute candle open? Did a straight wick fill already in that first 1 minute. So annoying, man.
That just tapped the 700.
Previous daily low there as well.
Yeah.
That's it. Go on, push.
Oh.
Take my TP. That's it. That's it. Nice.
Oh, you bummer.
That topped me out.
Yeah, break even. Took my runner. I considered thinking, you know what? Maybe I should just take half of that. Take half the trade off. Then just move it completely to break even to guarantee. Anyway, it was worth a shot.
That's it. It's taking my TP. It can go up now.
Now it can go up. Okay. That
Is
first.
it S1?
That first 1 minute, man. That's what I really, really hate to see when you're trying to get this kind of move and the 15-minute or the 30-minute or the 1 hour comes to a close. You're like, it just so freaking annoying. Anyway, I hope you guys were able to secure some so that it didn't be a losing trade. Was up 1-to-1. And now we're in this zone, so I kind of really wanted it to hold. So first trade, damn it. Thought we had a good shot here. So well done, Sarah. Well done. Start the day off well for you. So BE. Okay, we're back into it now. So let's see if we can hunt a second position. Now you're looking for buys. Yeah, I mean, it's still in the zone. It still is in the zone. I would have liked if it didn't take out London high yet. Sorry, London low yet. I would have liked it to have reacted from this wick, then pushed up, and then hunted the London low. I would have liked that in that order, but we'll see. Now, man, it's just a real shame that wasn't able to take those sells from up here somewhere, because then that would have been the 50 pip move.
That S1 was on the no wick one hour candle from yesterday as well, which we were talking about.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Looking at that one.
Yeah,
So,
well, I thought yesterday it was going to come down and hit it. Today it's done it
this one
below.
here.
There you go. Yeah, there.
Oh, why is that? I do have a, man, what the hell's going on? See how I do have a line Oh, right there it is. It hasn't come all the way across. I didn't drag it. Yeah, damn it. I hadn't dragged it across. Okay. Yeah, so there's the 1 hour no candle, no bottom wick candle. So you guys saw the types of entry video. You guys seen all that now? Everyone seen it now?
Yeah, seen it.
Yeah. So
Not yet, but we'll have a look at it.
yeah, we're in the zone now, so we'll just plan an entry here. 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 2A. 1, type 1, type 2, type 2, 2A, type 3, type 4. A hybrid of them. Bloody first minute, man. That first minute drove 27. First 2 minutes, 36 pips. So now we can take the buys. Just need to get confirmation. So I'm thinking this was the sell to buy move. That fast move, the false move. How did you guys go yesterday, by the way? Did you guys trade New York?
I was going alright, and then NYSC came in and slapped me.
Oh yeah?
I was doing alright in
On what? Hey Deb, how are you?
gold and US 30. US 30 was doing alright. I got a good little sell in that.
Mm-hmm.
Took profit. Missed most of the buys. And then gold came in. It stopped me out and basically then turned around and did what I wanted it to do.
It dived down, didn't it?
Yeah. That first it's probably that first 5 minutes of New York Stock Exchange just
Ouch.
absolutely exploded.
Hey Deb, how are you? Discord didn't let you in. What's going on there? That's weird. Yeah, they're surprised the gold had that so much of a sell-off. I saw 1925. What are we on now for it? Still 1925. But it was pretty decent. Look at this clean candle. Huge clean candle. It asks you to verify your phone. They wouldn't accept the verification code it sent to me. Instead of putting an email address to log in. What? Oh, you mean Discord was asking you for that, Deb? Oh, weird. It's almost like, do you have an antivirus that runs? They like cleared everything. Sometimes when my antivirus does a full system search, I guess, cleanup, then it asks me to like verify some things when I try sign in. I blame the antivirus. Okay, we don't really have much of a... There's not many signs here yet for this move up. Everything's still looking down, but we do have no wick. So we're going to fade out this candle. We've got a 2 minute setup. What about on the way down? Nothing. Just a 2
minutes more reversal pattern.
What's that?
1 minute's got more reversal pattern.
Oh yeah? Well, the 2 minutes got it as well. Oh, there we go. Hey Tom, how are ya? Come on, push. Okay, testing the euro low. So if we can close above this euro low, it opens the door to continue up. So this should look a bit more like this now. Because we did get this on the 2 minute. We got entry number 2 would have been entering here. 3 would have been entering here or here somewhere. So you needed a quick finger to have entered here. Let's push. Work meant you missed the first half hour. Looks like, yeah, you missed a bit of action actually. So almost, I can't say almost, but was really hoping to capture these sells from around about this area. And price just didn't give it, it didn't come up and then dropped. And then I took a stab at a buy here, close 50%. And then if the new 15-minute candle took me out. Then price gave the setup. I wasn't watching the 2 minute chart, so I got a late entry. Late entry slash confirmation entry, delayed confirmation entry. Because I didn't pull the trigger until I saw this. But do you guys spot that from the entries video? You guys can see this. Is there any questions about this? Remember I said it's like, just gotta sometimes look for it on the time frame. On all time frames. You know? Find something you recognize. Now we're bouncing off we didn't close above euro low. So this is danger time. So hopefully it can stay above here. And we'll look to target this zone that we've identified pre-market. Took out the no wick. Came back down to grab that. Entries video. Oh yeah, there's a webinar I did for the group. But there's nothing that it's just the information's the same as what I'll be talking about in the streams. It's just I've put it into a condensed like 20-minute video of just going over every single one. But if you're watching the streams, the same information's given out. Yeah. It's just a bit more condensed. But no different to the information already handed out. So it's a shame about this green box being used for a sweep. But the 4-hour, 2-hour wick is which is from here to here, and that's the midpoint of that wick. So this week, I mean, what we saw the previous there was a period of 2 weeks, not last week, but the 2 weeks beforehand, which were amazing for the we're just banging out between 50 to 100 pip trades almost every day, and it was we're getting like the correction in the first hour or two of London Open, which was amazing. Then all of last week I had an off week last week where it seemed that London just went one direction and then just the volume died and went sideways, or it just had that continuation and never had that change in direction. Never had that like sell to buy or buy to sell. It did it really quick and I didn't catch it, and then it did like a one candle, took out the low, then pushed up and then just went up and then consolidated. And it wasn't until New York that we would find that either correction or opportunity to get in and go again. So last week was a shitty week. Like, it was annoying. Then this week so far is the tale of 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour liquidity wicks, price reacting from the midpoint. That's the tale of so far this week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we've seen fantastic reactions from the midpoint of one of these time frames liquidity candle wicks. So here, we've had a beautiful little reaction from this point. Price has risen 40 odd pips. So I got in late, right? So didn't get all 40, but I'm just saying that we've had a 40 pip move from this area. That's really tasty. Then yesterday we had the. Did I get rid of it? Did I? Oh no, it was down here. Sorry. We had the move, the buy move from the same wick that we're now just dipped in lower. Remember my analogy about pancakes? So this is a liquidity pool. These are the pancakes on the plate. And that the hungry man just came in, grabbed the pancake, went and ate it, came back down, had to dip deeper into the plate to get the next pancake. Push up, eat it. It's coming back for, this time he's super hungry. He's just gone through and ate 2 pancakes in one go to push back up. So eventually, once all these pancakes are eaten, we can then keep on breaking down through the clean candles to the left into the next plate of pancakes. Then So this is today. This was yesterday. Had a beautiful reaction, hundreds of pips, hundreds from this zone, and then the day before was from this. Just look at for the purple and green boxes. This was the 3-hour liquidity candle midpoint. So this time he's poked his fork up, grabbed too many pancakes. Oh, that's too many. Puts them back. Too many. Puts them back. I'll just have one and then drop. Yeah, had some good runs on gold. Beautiful. Good one, Hitman. Yeah, I did notice that gold had actually moved alright last. I was bagging it out for quite a bit, saying it's just haven't been enjoying trading it lately. So I was going more to just indices only. But we did have some nice little moves on it. Glad you got some. Can we close above these wicks now? 30 seconds. 30 seconds. We created this little resistance. Can we close above it? And go to target. If we do, that's going to be 2 days in a row being blessed with trades not having to wait till like 10 o'clock. So we closed above, but we're still closing the wicks. That sucks. But has it picked up enough volume to do a wick fill? Still, the jury's still out. Everyone waiting to see what's going on. So all the retail traders were waiting. Let's check out the time frames. Do we have a bit more clarity on the 3 minutes? Oh, there we go. Beautiful. All right, taking out, we're extending London high. Nice one, guys. Just push, come on. You took the late entry on this one. Nice one. Late entry later than like the late, like this late entry. Oh, up here. Yeah. Okay. Very all good. Nice one. So we're pushing into this little pocket of liquidity here now, where the structure was. If we can close inside of it, we'll go to the top. Can close on a lower time frame as well. Just needs to be like a 1 minute even or 2 minute close inside of here to go to the top. But this is structure. I'm gonna secure some here just because I'm not gonna, you know, sitting 40 pips up more. Can't complain to that. and let the rest run. All right. Bank 60, yeah, Sarah, far up, man. You crushed it. Sells and then the buys. Finding the first, like, that stopper candle. Anyway, wouldn't have taken the second entry from lower if it wasn't for that stopper candle. So, managed risk well. I think it's something that is, when you're watching, you might, this is why, like, it's want to make sure that you guys are getting confident in your zones. Watching your zones and how you execute is going to be one of those one of the types of entries. But sometimes you got to skip through the candles to be able to see it. But then also the trade management side, sometimes that's always something that even myself always going to be working on, how best to manage, because it's not a objective thing in that this is exactly what I do every single time. It's really dependent on either how I'm traveling for the week, how much profit I'm in, how confident I am in the trade setup, the zones that we're at. There's so many little variables there that changes the way that I'd manage my own trade. But the one thing I do always keep in mind is coming to the end of a new higher time frame candle. When I say higher time frame candle, it means higher than the time frame that you took the entry on. So these entries were taken, like this one here was taken on, what was the first time frame it was taken on? Was it the 3 minute, wasn't it? It was when it swept, yeah, because this is the liquidity candle or rejection wick. But even though it was bearish, it was still a rejection wick, because it closed back inside the body. And then we had the doji, and then once it swept it, took anticipation entry, that 15 minute would drive higher. So the anticipation entry, because it was on the 3 minute, meant that I've got to be aware of my higher time frames. When I say higher time frames, like 5 minute, even I'm thinking about like, oh, how is each 5 minute candle closing? But I'm really looking at the 15:30, the 1 hour. 4 hours, a massive one, but we're nowhere near the 4 hour closing. But the 15, hey Dan, how are you? The 15 minute candle came to a close, and that's like, why did I manage my trade a minute or two before the new 15 minute candle closed? And sometimes it sucks when you manage your trade and then it just rockets up and you think, oh, I should have left it. But there's times like that, like, I'm very happy that I managed my trade, because when it came back down, I didn't survive the new 15 minute candle closing or wicking down. So I was able to take a BE because I was aware of my time frame, that I was aware of my time, like the little clock down here. I was aware of when the 15 minutes are closing. Now we've got a minute 15 left, and we've got the jury now is all happy. So now we can just keep on cheering this. So the 15 minute now, this is what I was anticipating the candle to look like. I was anticipating the previous 15 minute candle to look like this one. Well, this one here to look like this one. This is what I wanted to see. Now, this new 15 minute candle, still haven't taken out some of these highs, so it could just be a pullback. I know Nigel will be keeping an eye on like the 75% mark of this session, of that Euro session. That does seem to be relevant. We do have the New York low as well from the previous day that's also going to be a zone of interest to keep an eye on. So all these points in time that when you manage your trade, it's got to be based on timing or levels. And then 3, it depends on how you're doing for the week as well. But I think this is a pretty nicely executed session for myself. Let's give myself a little pat on the back for that. But I think given I'm extra happy about it, even if I could have banked more or anything like that, I'm just happy after doesn't matter if I had 2 amazing weeks if you're only as good as your last week, really. And last week I was a little bit disappointed that I only got 1 good trade on the Wednesday. This week, every day so far, I smashed it. Either through Pound Aussie. Pound Aussie was that was really the only one. But decent trades yesterday on German 40. Monday was alright. The week's been good. Alright, actually, talk us through this. Oh, you did the same thing, huh? Yeah. First attempt, second attempt. Oh wait, this is the 4-hour chart. No, there's 4-hour. Taking the low.
Okay, so first of all, when you took that entry, I didn't say anything because you are already in that trade, so I didn't say anything. The problem with that first entry was this doji candle. This is also the daily doji, daily low also was here.
Yeah, I did. When I was looking at the wick there on the 4 hours, it is a little pin bar thing.
Yeah, even yesterday when we took this entry, we talk about that if price is not moving upside and getting reaction. I closed my position yesterday somewhere here because we got a reaction from this area and we did not close. We wanted daily. Also yesterday daily was closed like if it could have closed like a bullish candle, then I could have held that position, but it did not close a bullish one. And another reason was this doji candle we left. Now today we took out that doji. You can say this is the last area of liquidity. If this 4 hour able to close bullish one, then we will continue pushing upside. And also daily gonna do the manipulation on daily also. If this 4 obviously I already closed some partial because I don't know yesterday we push like this, but immediately we got a reaction. But if today this 4 hour able to close bullish one, then probably we will continue pushing upside then. And then we will not going to hold this area. We will continue pushing into the next area, maybe here or maybe here. But today daily has to close bullish. If not closing bullish one, then we again coming to the downside. But this area was an important one. And this one was the last area of liquidity. You can say a lot of people who took a buy yesterday on this candle or this, they usually put their stop loss below the doji low. So you just took out that. Now we just have to wait and see if price can able to this 4 hour able to close bullish or not.
Let's hope,
closing bullish. Yeah, if it closing bullish, we can get banger entry like all the way to the upside, like more than 200 pips then. But closing partially is always important.
Yes, sir. It caps your profit potential, but it also limits your loss potential as well. And if you can just tip it so that you're constantly grinding profits, then that's all you need, right? Just grind away. Never really have too much loss. Limit your losses, and then just try and remain on that consistency path of picking more winners and losers. And especially when we've got positive risk reward in our style of trading, it's all about the execution. Well, I don't want it to come down now. Don't want it to keep on driving, but we are until we break in this low, we're still making higher highs for these last 15-minute candles. 30-minute though is an issue. 30-minute still closed very bearish. The previous 30-minute, and we haven't really done any sort of wick fill yet. 1 hour, the jury is still out. Where was that jury photo gone? Oh, it's fine. I'm not gonna go find it again. Alright, so 5-minute close bearish. Let's see. I guess this zone, this monthly level, is the one that needs to hold, because it's more or less where that if this is a true manipulation to take and grab those buys, then we don't want it to be taking out this low again. You've reduced your risk to 0.1 to practice an entry point. Not a bad idea.
Yeah, Sarah always got a sniper entry. So even if she used like a 0.1, she can get 1:10. So that's a 1% risk to reward, 1% reward.
Agreed. I really want this to hold. But that New York low from previous yesterday, that's it's definitely a key zone. Oh shoot. It's gonna
30-minute wick fill now.
Yeah, mate. Come on, 30 minutes. Not cheering this. Get out of here. Because the daily makes more sense to go down. The daily makes sense to get inside of this structure here. Now the only thing is, were we able to extend the current daily high? The current daily high is in the Asian session. So I'm pretty confident with that. So even if this now continues to go down, the more that London can push down and down, then the New York potential is massive. Absolutely massive. So in a way, I'm not really fussed either way. Ideally, I can my buy runner can survive. Ideally, but even if it just keeps them pushing down, it just means you got to take another trade. Maybe it's getting close to coffee time. Yeah. No good, huh? It's annoying. Took my runner. This is the new name for this one. Oh, you took the sell. Nice, nice. So the bastard candle's your friend. When did you take it? Did you take it on the flip, did you? For the wick fill?
Yeah, on the flip, filled the wick.
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. That was the move I took yesterday. In here. On the lower time frames. I took like the same thing. Candles almost looks identical. Smaller body today than yesterday. Compared to the wick. But almost the same candle. Then it wicked up and then did a wick fill. This time it obviously there was no doji here, so I just did it in more of a one go. But I took it yesterday.
I had that as my resistance.
Yeah, okay.
Right there, resistance, and then this one here. I hesitated taking it here, but I did take it here.
Why not? Why not there? With the New York low.
I like this level better. That's the most recent for me.
Yeah, okay. So I took the same idea yesterday on the breakout. This one here. This was the breakout 5 minute. Wicked up as I was flipping. Took the sell. Target. Then it did it on all time frames. 5 minute, wick down, same looking candle, wicked up, wick fill. And then if you look at the 15 minute, wicked up, wick fill. 30 minute, same candle, wicked up, wick fill. 1 hour, same candle. Oh no, it did it inside of this 1 hour. But 5, 15 and 30 all did the same thing. At least when it moves like this is quite nice because 70 pips, but it's gone like 60 pips down, 70 pips up, 60 pips down. Everyone can win here. Everyone can take a good trade, because if your risk was 30 pips, you've got the potential for 2 to 1s each direction. All comes down to how you do your zones, yeah, or your support areas where you're looking for reactions, whether your style was for wick fill, whether it's liquidity style, whether it's anticipation, cowboy late, all of them. Anyway, Brenda, Jake, are you guys watching on YouTube? I haven't seen your comments for a while. I was thinking of cowboys, cowgirls. Okay, so we come to the what's important going to happen in the next minute, guys. Pop quiz.
Your early candle.
Yeah, 7 seconds. Out
When
of
it
close.
breaks down, it pushes up.
Yeah, probably do a little bit of a wick fill and then go up.
Brave enough to enter a long position.
No, not yet. I mean, don't let it stop you. But I don't like. I find it when I've taken a couple trades like this. I've already taken 2 trades, so I usually stop and wait for a bit. I don't like entering as well in the first minutes of a new candle. Doesn't mean you can't do it though. You know, it's just that's a personal thing. It's like whenever I've done it by mistake. Because you're trading against this hourly candle. So you've got to be a pretty brave man to think that it's going to open with no bottom wick and then go straight up. You'd want to wait for at least that wick creation, and then that's going to take a few minutes to do that at least. Because then you'd like to see it do the sort of the manipulation, and then whether you get in an anticipation, confirmation, late to go up. This here, anticipation would be here. Cowboy would be in here somewhere generally. So it depends on which one you're down for. When you've got to take those kind of more cowboy entries, well, ones that you're entering very early in, I would prefer you to be thinking about like risk reward potential, but then also something that might tip the odds in your favor of that buy making sense would be if you do have a candles with no top wicks coming down. Because they're always going to be places that price will likely find its way back to. That makes sense, Dave?
Yep, certainly does.
So if you've got the presence of one of those and the move down, then I think there's a good chance that you will get a winning trade. But just make sure like you're fighting against the tide, in the sense of that our candle close is pretty significant. But then it's like, well, you know, that's an inefficiency in the market. So the market will most likely come back to those inefficiencies and collect orders there. Because like if there's a lot of selling took place, such a mismatch of selling in that 5-minute candle that price just dropped and there was no real buyers in that candle. When the new candles open, for it to sell down like that, there's probably leftover sell orders that didn't get filled. So price will often return to grab it and then go down again, like grab the leftovers. So in that case, I would say, well, if you wanted to, if you saw that, identified that as a no wick candle, then I would say, for me anyway, I would be thinking, I'd like to secure something. I don't want to take a loss counter trending that hour candle, especially when once it's giving you like a good 10, 15, hopefully 20 pip move. But just also be aware that it's very unlikely that this candle would open with no bottom wick and then go straight up to that level. So let it make a bottom wick and then go up to that level, and you generally improve your risk reward then, because you're capturing the bottom wick and you're taking some partials when price is returning to fill that inefficiency. It's good though, like I said, it's a scalp mindset. That quick jab in and out of the market for these ones can work out pretty well. So there are opportunities around the opens and closes of 1 hour candles. Just have a plan to it, like what you've planned to do. And then I think you can't go wrong, because you're getting out of that emotion emotional side of trading, because you're planning, oh, this is what I'm going to do. I have to execute on it. Now I can review it and say, did my plan work? If it was just an emotional decision, I don't think that's going to be, some people, I mean, who knows, but I don't think that's a long-term profitable strategy to implement. That emotional entering, exiting trades. Not saying that you do it or anything like that, but just how to plan something around that. That's what I'd be thinking about, those things. Top wick creation, bottom wick creation, where could price go to, inefficiencies. Yeah, I'll leave it there. Ivan, looking at the 15-minute on the next candle, we can anticipate the anticipation entry for the HCS if it presents itself. Look at the 15-minute on the next candle. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, you could. That this is your candle 1, and you're anticipating that maybe this is going to react off this one. Just be mindful this one is a doji as well, even if it is a liquidity, like this is a rejection wick. But yeah,
that was a very strong bearish close below structure as well.
Yeah, but it's a 4-hour zone as well. That's the thing. It can look scary taking some of these entries because it looks so strong bearish, but this is a bloody strong 4-hour candle, and we've had no real, we've got areas above it that make a lot of sense for a daily top wick. Like, how often do we see on price for German 40 or indices, how often do we see the Asian session being the high or the low? We do see it, but how often is it the high or the low of the day? I mean, we've seen it twice here. This was the high of the day, of that day. And then, here was the high of the day as well. And here was the low of the day. Here was the low of the day as well. Gosh, I've seen a lot lately. But a lot of the time, it's not the high of the day or the low of the day. Most of the time, it gets manipulated. And do you think it's going to always sell down without having those pullbacks? I think this area makes a lot of sense, that even if it doesn't take out the Asian high, it should at least take out the Euro high. When it's looking scary one way, often that's premium entry.
Don't get me wrong, I bought the low.
There you go. Yeah, it's gonna be scary.
What I do and what I recommend isn't the same thing.
But it makes sense. It makes sense. There's no reason, like, nothing here changed the bias. What would have changed the bias? A closure under here, or a new lower low. That would have changed. That would have potentially not flipping the bias, but that would have been a game changer. What it does inside of here is just to get people scared. So so I say, like a candle closing strong bearish, it's going to look scary entering to get the best entry. It's going to look scary. It can be counterintuitive as well. Now, sometimes that counterintuitive is going to be what pays off, because if it was always just common sense, there'd be way easier to do. But it's not, Now we need to make sure that in our little heads, this is us. What we need to make sure is, when we come to the charts, we need to be aware. I'll do a little speech bubble. gonna look premium. It's gonna look scary for premium entries. Now, the other thing we need to be mindful of is are we contrarian by nature? Because if we're contrarian by nature, it's not going to look as scary for premium entries. But that's the danger, is when you're overconfident or always want to seem to swim against the tide. We need to make sure we understand when to go with the tide and when to go against the tide. So being contrarian by nature, say this bearish candle had closed like that, for example. Then do we want to be contrarian to this candle if it closed below certain points? Not really. I think of that, and that if we're taking these kind of entries without having proper zone analysis, we're going to get slapped a lot. But we also don't want to be then thinking, oh, this candle closed so this previous one closed so bearish, so let's start taking sells to keep on going down, because you are going to get slapped then, because the move pushed down from up here, so you're already so far away from best entry. Should be trying to get in. Trying to get into the trades as close to support or close to resistance as you can. Yeah, as close as you can. So doesn't mean the direction is sell or buy all the time. Don't worry about direction so much in here. Just think of what I said, is that if you've got zones here in this area and they haven't been violated, then on the lower time frames you're trying to get that entry as close to that support as possible, as long as it hasn't been broken. And it's going to look scary because price will be coming down to it for you to be getting in really close to that entry, to that zone, and then price pushing up. What Eddie did was absolutely perfect as well, is that he was looking to go with the sells, but he's not looking at selling down here or selling down here. He's trying to he's had his zones in, the most recent ones just holding more weight to it, and he wanted to try get in as close to those resistances as possible, but not taking it on the way up necessarily. Let it go up and then look for it to be rejecting, but still enter as close to one of these zones as you can, depending on which one you've got drawn in for that downside. The idea for this trade was, this is the triangle, this was the move, price made a low, 8 times out of 10 it'll retest the low. Well, we'll get very close to the low. Do you want to take the trade on the way up, or do you want to take the trade on the way down to complete that triangle? You want to do it on the way down because you've got a better idea of your target, your stop loss, and taking the meat of the move. If you're going like a cowboy and taking the sell on the way up, you don't know how high this triangle is going to go. You could be in on this part and prices keep on going up. Like, it is sometimes beneficial to know where the peak of that triangle is. Price will always move in triangles. Even when I'm drawing like that, there's a triangle there, there's a triangle there, there's a triangle there, there's a triangle there, triangle there, triangle there. Price moves in triangles. It's just you want to be on, ideally, you want to be on the side of the triangle that's going towards your target. That makes sense? Move that little. Being contrarian can be dangerous, but it's also a benefit in some areas where getting in when it looks so bearish is helps you. It helps you. You've got to be able to identify your zones. Your zones, and when a zone doesn't make sense anymore. Yeah, and I heard, like, as you guys know, I do like fundamentals a lot. Now there's something, this is where it's like, we could have a technical bias, or we can have a fundamental bias. Now, I want to teach both. I want you guys to have a combination, because technical analysis is great because the way we get in is based on technical analysis, and price is pushing down, you know. When fundamentals comes out, it takes time for fundamentals to be put into the market. And I heard a great analogy. They were talking about fundamentals is like you're on a straight road. So at the moment we've been seeing price trending down for quite a few sessions now, with pullbacks along the way, but price is basically trending down. Technicals right now will be, say for example, technicals are telling us we're going down, and it looks like a fairly straight pathway down. Now, when people trade fundamentals only, what happens to them as traders is that say for something is looking bullish, okay, and you've got a straight road, and then fundamentals is like knowing that there's a turn up ahead. But what fundamentals will do is people, as soon as they hear those fundamentals and they know there's a turn way up here, they'll turn instantly. So I'll turn now. I heard about the fundamentals. So even though the technicals is telling you it's going down in this chart right now, and imagine if we had fundamentals that come out and that was bullish for German 40. If you don't have ability to combine the two, fundamentals will trade or straight away just start buying, and technicals will just keep on pushing down before then going up. Now that's the same thing that happened with my pound Aussie trade. When I was taking I took a fundamental approach. A fundamental approach for pound Aussie. Technicals were coming down. Price heavy candles to the downside, but I was very bullish on pound. So I was just buying. And as the fundamentals are telling you we're going up, it's just the technicals, we didn't have the road sign to tell us exactly when that turn was coming. So the technicals was pushing down still, but I knew there was a turn coming. From a fundamental point of view, give it a wide stop loss. Give yourself margin of error, because you're never sure when that turn is going to happen, and when the turn happens is usually very, very quick, or when you least expect it. If you've got a technical point of view and you've got a sound technical basis on how you look at stuff, have your zones in, understand why you've got a fundamental bias approach. You can still sell if the price action is telling you to sell. Just know there's a turn coming. And for the liquidity entry that we're looking at, mostly the scariest point to have bought here was on the break of that doji low. That would have been a scary time to be thinking about buying. That was your best entry. How could we have anticipated that? Well, from a technical point of view, where are your levels? Last bearish candle before a big run up, and you've got to say this is a huge run up. Last bearish candle, so this should be always a zone you're looking at. Last bearish candle before a push up. Last bearish candle before a push up. There's reasons that these candles, why we get rejections at these levels. Obviously the turn, this was just a little short turn. It was more like a curve that gives you a little warning that we're turning, but it just kept on going. Whereas this point here was when we got to the intersection and you had to do a right turn and then back. So we got signposted. This was the signpost that turn happened, fundamentals told us there was a turn coming. Technicals told us where the turn was. But it would have been bloody scary to have got premium entry. But if you can combine everything together into a system that you're comfortable with, that you're right more than you're wrong, you've got excellent risk reward style, and you're right more often than not. You don't even have to be right half the time to do well. You just need to be systemized in this approach. It takes time, you know. It takes time to watch what I'm drawing, things that I'm pointing out, and I'm not right all the time, so I'm going to get it wrong. So I'm going to try to be as transparent and tell you when I'm entering. Sometimes I've got to make a decision on the fly as well, but it's usually, not always, usually at levels I've already determined, unless I've seen, oh, hold on a second, I made a boo-boo here. I made a boo-boo here, and there was a zone, and everything looked perfect, and now I'm just going to muscle memory will kick in. But I think more often than not, we get it right pretty often. You know, it's not going to be like, oh, this is my zone here. We've got multiple, because what we're doing is we're combining zones with price action, generally with fundamentals. In these streams, it's more price action. Anyway. It's my rant over. Now I should go get a coffee. Any comments, guys? If you haven't liked the stream yet, can you like it for me?
That was a good rant, mate. That was a good rant, Hayden. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, mate. I'll catch you, Tom.
Yeah, pretty much what you were saying there is what I was saying in the channel this afternoon. Just getting to know the zones that you are comfortable in, because no move goes in any direction forever. Yeah. And a reversal isn't always a reversal on the reversal on the 1 minute isn't a reversal on the H4. It's just a wick. Yeah. Like, but if you've got a 60 pip wick, there's 60 pips.
Yeah, you can take that.
The zone that you've predetermined.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah, I mean, it was 2 weeks ago when we had a fantastic week, and 4 of the days took a fantastic buy, but the daily was bearish. Took a fantastic sell, but the daily was bullish. Like the way it closed, 4 of those days, the trade I took was the opposite of how the candle closed. Does it like it, you know? Yeah, you gave some really good information in the Discord overnight. That was really good to see. Like, get better at during your levels, but you're the one that has to pull the trigger.
Don't wait for someone to tell you to do something. That's I guess what the analogy is, because just get to know how much you're willing to risk, how much you're willing to take your profits, and manage accordingly. Like me, I'm happy to scale out at 20 pips. That's for me. Hayden, you like aiming for 50 pips, but you might take 50% at a level. I just look at 1 minute levels. That's just my strategy. Mm-hmm. Some days it works really well, other days not so much.
Yeah, no strategy works the best 100% of the time. There's so many times where range traders, like, remember this period here, range traders would have made a killing. Trend traders would have really struggled. No, but this is the week that we did really well, I think. And I think it was in here that it was, I think I took a great sell on this day, a great buy on this day, a great sell on this day. This is how it went. Took a great sell in this day, took a great buy in this day, took a good buy in this day, went with that was the first candle that closed in the same direction as my buy, and then I took a sell on this day. So 3 of the 4 days, like, you wouldn't think that you would have got a really good sell on this day. But you know, let's go back and have a look. It would have looked at like one of the setups that I put in the video. It would have been, let's go to London session. This is guys, remember this? It's so easy to find trades that I know we took or know we would have taken, because all the winning trades generally look the same. So it was inside this area, and it was from a 15-minute candle. So this was the 15-minute candle that closed nice and strong and bearish, and I think we took the I think it was like a semi, let me just find it. Maybe it was the 30-minute actually. I think it was the 30-minute. This was the zone, the high of this rejection wick to this candle here. So that was like the zone we're looking at, and then took a 5-minute entry on this one when price, it was after this candle. This candle gave the 5, because it was a zone on the 30-minute, and this 5-minute candle finally wicked up higher than this one here. Didn't wick up higher than the one to the left. This one did, so it gave the reaction inside of this candle. Then when you see that happen, generally support breaks. And I think Alan even, I think you guys, I remember Alan talking about that he took the late entry on this one. They were anticipating the wick up. But this was the sell on a daily candle that closed like that. And then the next daily candle, we took a buy on this day. If we go have a look at the London session, the buy doesn't look like much, but even this move up from here to here, that's, you know, that's 97 pips. And I remember we got the buys from, I think I might have even, because it wicked down, smashed down. And I might have, yeah, that's right. I got late entry on this one. So it wicked down so quickly, spiked down, but then took it on here. Took it here as like a little late entry. Well, I think I got in here, and maybe this one took me out for break even. Yeah, no, that's the one. That's the one. So wicked down super quick, and I took it on the when it was breaking back above, and then pushed up, and then it rejected off of like this no wick area, came out, got break even trade, and then re-entered on this. I think when this candle was even flipping, I think I might have got in there, and then rode it up, and took most off at these monthly levels, euro high, because that was 50 pips, and then the daily candle, it wasn't even the best move of the day. The best move was sells. That's right. I remember, Ivan, you were here and we were talking about that one. I remember actually took that entry, took the 50 pips. Then I remember where I was walking on the street to get some detergent to the shop. And we were talking, we were like, holy crap, we got a 50 pip move in a day that dropped over 200 pips. Remember that? That was when I could look at the chart and remember exactly where I was when I was replying to you on Discord.
I remember that too.
Yeah. And then the next day, after that heavy drop, then it made sense for to take breakout longs, because Asian dropped it a little bit, or Euro dropped a little bit. Oh no, it didn't. But we took the breakout longs. I think we might have got in early. I think I got in. No, this one here I got in from here as well. It spiked down. It was so quick, pushed up, and then got in, and then that was 50 pippers again. 50 pippers. 63 pips and moved up. Secure most of 50. Let the rest run. Yeah. So nice to see. Like this, it's why it's so good. Like I find it actually relaxing to just focus on one thing, one pair, one time, and then just try perfect your craft. Yeah, yeah, that's right. And then bloody my Forex funds, all that. Well, that one wasn't too bad. That week, yeah, that was when I was really just taking the prop account. So all of that wasn't even on really on my personal account.
You didn't have the copy trader running?
No, it's been a bit of a pain just to set up. So, I mean, it's not a pain. Like it's just like I've put it on the other computer, and I had the copy trader on my VPS. But then once I went from phase 1 into phase 2, then they their new account, and I was just like, oh, forget it. I just didn't bother.
Yeah, not for 4%.
Yeah, and then I made a mistake as well I was playing around with some things, and I just didn't think, you know how like when MT5 there's so many different tabs open on them all, and I had EmmaBot running with a copy trader, and I had this running, and then I opened up I had it all set up on my VPS, and then I opened up another little personal account that I had running there. I was like, oh, I'll put this one on this because I was going to practice something, and I just didn't go through and look through every single tab to see what was running, and I had a receiver on one of those. So what it did was it received some trades when I was just testing some things out, and I was like, oh shoot, I didn't want to do that. So what I did was I just had closed everything. I wasn't even I was just for like clarity when I was just doing that in the last month. I was like, I'll just have everything closed down before I go and just make sure, knowing again which accounts my trade copier is copying to and which ones are ascending. So after that I was just for the last month I just haven't got around to it. With all the move and everything, I thought I just didn't, yeah. But it is a very good idea to have once everything's all back up and running, like with my personal account. I'm trading on my personal account now, but once everything else is getting all sorted, like set again, then I will maximize and spread my risk over the different accounts and things. Again, it's just like once you haven't looked at a chart for a while, sometimes the trade copier was like, oh, like it just a little bit outdated, and I'd put it on, and it would come up with an error, and it will say like, oh, you need to re-download it and install again. So I was like, because that account that I literally hadn't opened it for probably 2 months or something. So when I opened it, for some reason the trade copier was just not working. Well, it was working, but when I was trying to play around with it, as soon as I made the settings, it stopped working. Quick question on Magic Keys. If you have multiple trades and hit close half, would that close all positions? You mean multiple trades on the same... If you've got, like say I've got 4 positions on German 40, and I push close half, it would close half on all of them. Yeah, it will close half on all of them. You can do change symbol in the bottom left corner on the keypad, and what it will do is it will change, instead of saying, normally it says all down here. So that means that whatever you do on Magic Keys, like close half, full, whatever, it's going to affect all the positions for that pair. If you've got like German 40 going and pound Aussie going at the same time, but you're on the German 40 chart, it will only touch the German 40. It won't it won't manage all trades for all different pairs. If you've got multiple positions, what you can do is you only want to do one, is hit that change symbol on the keypad, and this, instead of saying all, it should go to the ticket number. So then you can just play around with one at a time. Sarah, can we get our money back from credit card for... did you start the thing with MFF, Sarah? You did? Okay. I was thinking about that. I wondered if I could contact the credit card company and say, well, they haven't delivered their service yet. So I think it's worth a shot. See what they can do. I'm not sure what they can do, but maybe they do have a bit of power. Yeah. Who did something on the chart? I didn't see. I saw a little arrow.
It wasn't supposed to be on there. I was touching the screen.
Okay.
I forgot I still lay down and touched on.
Oh, good. Alrighty, well,
I had to push the tab off.
looks like we're just consolidating here. Kind of making lower highs, higher lows. So, and it's, it's been an alright day. Could have been better, but could have been better. But I'm not gonna complain. Sent them an email for a refund, no response. Yeah, I think I've got looking at their charge sheet, Ivan. These guys sound like they're just a bunch of dicks. So I think customer service right now is they've put that to the back of their queue. But I'm hoping we can sort of salvage something from it. But yeah, unlikely. But I was listening to the others as well. I'm like, I guess we've got to be, and oh yeah, see you. Catch up, Dave. Thanks for being here. I'm gonna go as well in a tick. I think the main thing is that it's very easy to just say they're all like that, and I probably have thought as soon as I after reflecting this week on it, because I was pissed off as well that it was just what a waste of time, and I started to have a little bit of hope that this, why not? I was so late to go down this route, because I was thinking, well, it's our own cash is best, and I thought, well, I finally just started to believe and really think, you know what, why not take advantage of this? They've been around for years now. I have seen some payouts from them. I didn't realize all the stuff that was going behind, but they do allow some winners. That's maybe it's a viable solution to accelerate your account. So I started to become a believer. Then I tried it, and then bloody picked the one that gets done. Pissed me off, because what a waste of time that was. So then I was like, well, F them, F these guys. They're all, unless they're actually trying to make you better as a trader, they're obviously trying to then make, they're obviously trying to make money. They need to have more people losing challenges than passing them. That's the way their business model works. And I was like, well, I'm okay with it, I guess, because the brokers a lot of the time are going to be the same thing a lot of the time. What a waste of time, though. But in saying that, I'm sure, just like every industry, there are some good ones mixed among the bad ones, and you just got to find the good ones. And there probably is a good opportunity still, and it is a good. We can't be distraught by one bad apple, even though once you got one bad apple, there's probably a shitload of bad apples in that same packet. But there's probably going to be a couple tasty ones in there. It's like you get a strawberry and you get that rotten one. You're like, oh, far out, man. The ones around it are going to taste like crap. But I'm open. I'm going to say I'm open again to doing it, going down that route. But for now, I'm just going to focus on my own stuff for a little bit. But then I'll wait to hear some feedback from you guys as well. I know if you guys are doing some with other groups. Did you see FTC True Funded Trader? Did you guys True Forex Funds? Did someone try TFF?
Are they another one that's already gone?
Nah, they're in Hungary, so US are deciding what to do. But they're in Europe. But they have been accepting US and Canadian clients. So therefore, if they're accepting clients from the US, then the US could go after them a bit. But they're not. They're saying that they're acting in a capacity that requires registration, but they're not registered with the CFTC. But I know this has come up a bit as people talking about them. So, but they're out of the US jurisdiction though. But so it's just a red flag, just to be careful. The FTMO.
Any word on the Aussie ones?
What's that?
Any word on any of the Aussie ones?
I just saw this yesterday. I haven't looked. FTMO statement. Wonder if they've spoken about anything.
I've seen some screenshots from other companies that have either tweaked their wording or maybe we're just more attuned to it now and we can see it.
Yeah, some of them are putting little things in there now, aren't they? Say, oh, you know what? You don't trade live capital. You might not be trading live capital on live accounts.
You might not be.
Yeah, I saw that. That's like it's so funny the wording that they do. Like the car park downstairs, it's not patrolled by like, you know, if you get a parking ticket in Australia, you have to pay it. Or you should pay it. Otherwise, you've got to go down like the legal loophole. Here, some of these car parks, they tried to make themselves sound like, you know, that it's a parking ticket and you have to pay it. But some of them don't have authority to actually demand money from you. So it's more like if you got a parking ticket in some of these places, it's like an invoice saying, hey, here's a bill, but you don't have to pay it. So the wording used to be quite strong, and now it's you can see like little. I'll take a picture and put it in the Discord. But what it is they had the sign and they've put little stickers over the top, and now it says you may have to pay. We may go to the license plate registration to find out who you are, and we may pass on your details to them, which might affect your credit rating. To say you've had a fine, you didn't pay it. Well, you had an invoice given to you, but you didn't pay your invoice. So I know there's some tradies there the guy installed my internet the whole place. And he was talking about how he used to always get fines at this particular place, and he's like, "No, I never pay them." I was like, "Really? Don't you like eventually lose demerit points and things?" He's like, "Nah, it's just a request to pay. I'm not gonna pay it. They do it all the time."
Maybe he's right.
Well, that's I've heard it from many places as well now. So same people that said, another guy when I was paying for parking in the Lake District, we're doing like a hike, and we had finished our hike early, but you got to pay for like 6 hours or something, or you go for like, you pay hour or 2 hours, and then after 2 hours it's like 6 hours. So we weren't sure how long we were going to be, and we still had like 3 hours left, and we had done the hike in 3 hours comfortably. So when we're leaving, I just said, does anyone want this ticket? There's still 3 hours left on it. And the guy's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll use it. I don't normally put a ticket on anyway. It's like, oh, why? And he's like, it's just they can't enforce it. So, and I was like, man, so many people keep saying this, that it can't be enforced. Now the sign sort of proves it. The sign now, all the wording's been changed. They're saying that they may request it, or they may pass your details on. Anyway, enough of me gas bagging. I'm gonna go. Thanks, guys. Another London session done. I'll see you all. Good luck in New York session. Keep your risk low. Playing your trades. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay.
Hey, man.
Thanks, Hayden.
You're welcome.